All right, everyone. Today we are going to be discussing a little bit of the basketball side. I'm not talking about finance stuff all the time, but I was a professional basketball player, played basketball overseas for 10 years, played in the G League for about 2.5, 3 years, played in the NBA for about 2 months before they put me in the main red claws, which is G League anyway. I don't really give myself that credit, even though I did play, but nah, being in exhibition games ain't all that much. But these are some we are going to be reacting to. But I got 4 clips here of some guys overseas playing, trying to make it work. And I want to be encouraging in this too, in case some of these guys do see this. I want to be encouraging because I know the grind. Like I've done it for 10 years, played in Taiwan, China, Germany, Belgium, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, France, Tunisia, Canada. I keep going. I've been across the entire world. I know this grind probably more than any of these guys have. Get it. Trust me, I get it. So I hope for you guys to learn something on this. So we're going to respond to this. This first video is a guy who got fired from the G League, which is actually what happened to me. Like the G League is not nothing to play with. Everyone thinks that's a good future, but there are some things about the G League that I will go once we finish this video that we'll talk about. So let's just get this going.
It's been 2 weeks since I got cut from my team in the NBA G League. Here's what's happened since. If you've been following the series, you know I expected to spend my entire rookie year of pro basketball in Phoenix with the Valley Suns. But things don't always go according to plan. I got cut, and now my focus has shifted overseas. A basketball landscape that a lot of people aren't as familiar with, but one that's grown massively over the past decade and will only continue to grow. All it takes is one team willing to take a chance.
Here we go. We're going to mute this because I ain't trying to get copyright struck. We got to read the subtitles. So he's working out. Yeah, so like that's something very important. You got to keep working out. He goes into being grateful for his family, to spend time with them. Just great. But one thing I like about this guy is that he is in the gym. You cannot stop, because the moment you get that call, you will be on a court within 3-4 days. You must stay in shape, like game ready shape, because they could be in the middle of the season. So you got to be ready to go. So yeah, he's saying that he'll accept anything. He's waiting on the bench. He'll cheer his teammates if he has to. That is a dedication you have to have. You got to be willing to put in the sacrifices, especially as a rookie. If you're not coming in from D1 or any big name accolades, yes, like you have to be willing to do the dirty work. And if you are, which is basically it, if you are, then you can make a career. You must go overseas with that mindset. You cannot go overseas assuming that, oh, well, if I can't start or I can't do certain things I want to do, well, okay, I'm not going to do it. You won't find yourself a job, or you will be cut before either the preseason, and then they'll replace you. As simple as that. But this guy, Mason Madison. Hey man, I wish you luck. The G League, real quick, the G League is not what people think it is. The difference with the G League is that the G League, there is nothing guaranteed in the G League. When you signed a contract for $35,000, because everyone talks about the salary increases, because back when I was in the D League back then, I was only making $11,000. The difference is that new contract they signed is explicit in their contract where they can let you go at any time. There is no such thing as a guaranteed contract in the G League. So they can literally let you go in the middle of the season. That's what the Grand Rapids Drive did to me, or the Grand Rapids Gold now. In the middle of January, they let me go just because they were changing up the roster. This is where the politics comes in. There's a lot of politics that goes into the G League. Is it still a good opportunity? It is. It can still be a good opportunity, but you have to have backup clients. And this is the one thing I like he's putting on his TikTok, he's creating a brand for himself. Like that's something you want to do. Continue to create a brand, continue to work out so you can get your reach out, because you cannot rely on these teams to give you opportunities. You have to create opportunities on your own. So Mason, seriously, good luck, man. Please, hopefully things go well for you. The next one we're going to talk about is how this guy says overseas hoopers should take their woman with them. Now, I'm going to let him talk about a minute, 2 minutes. I'm not going to go through the entire thing because it's 6 minutes long, but I actually disagree with this, and I'll explain why.
I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I ain't going overseas to hoop without my girl, bro. Just straight the fuck up. I've been there, done that, and that relationship failed like a motherfucker. That shit did not go well. Motherfuckers didn't want to take the steps to, go overseas. They want to continue to, pursue their career, which is fine. That's why when you're messing with a guy that's playing overseas basketball, you either need to have a remote job or your job needs to be really flexible, because sending your guy overseas for 10 to 7 months, bro, like majority of the time, if you in Europe, it's 10 months. If you in China, it's 7 months.
Yep, that's true.
What the fuck do you expect this man to do? Let's just keep it real, man. Like, all bullshit out the window, all games out the window. When you're overseas, bro, you gotta understand, bro, that shit is not as easy as y'all think. Yes, motherfuckers getting money to hoop and all that shit, but you gotta understand, bro, motherfuckers was born in America, bro. Motherfuckers miss that food. Motherfuckers miss them collard greens, candy yams, and all that type of shit. Motherfuckers miss their mom. Motherfuckers miss their dad. Motherfuckers miss their sisters. Like, motherfuckers miss their friends, bro. When you overseas, bro, and you away from everything, bro, and you just like hooping, which is cool, you need that fucking support. You need that loving. You need to come back from a game and you had a bad game. You need, your sweetheart there with you to comfort you. Like, man.
See, that's the one thing that I have to disagree with. A woman should be a support when it comes to what you want to do. In my mind, and that's nothing against this guy, man, real talk. But for me, when you go overseas, you're on a mission. You can't rely on people to hold you back and take care of you. You have to put yourself in a position where you are strong enough to endure the harsh realities of being overseas. I did this for 10 years. So when it comes to my girl, because I had a girl too, and unfortunately it didn't work all the time, but because I'm saying sometimes it did. But to me, my rule was, you will stay home and handle your business because I'm handling mine. So I basically had 3 rules. It's don't be a distraction, handle your business, don't break promises. Those are my 3 rules. Every woman to this day still has to follow those rules. You break one of those rules, game over. Now, for me, they always want to come overseas. And my thing is, you're about to be a distraction if you come over here, because I'm not there to play games. I'm there to go overseas, do my work, come home, recuperate, and do it all over again. And when I come home, I come home. Is they come visit? Yes. Now, if you want to come overseas, and I have a friend right now who's in Germany where he's doing this, where his wife has a job in Germany, but he's also Germany is his second citizenship, so it made it easier, but she was able to create a life over there. Different. You have a plan when you're coming overseas. You can't just come overseas out of a whim and say, oh, well, I just want to come over, and like this guy saying now, oh, I want you to just be there to support me. The woman, in most cases, the woman's going to get bored because she doesn't know the language, she doesn't know the culture, she doesn't know anything. So she is going to pinpoint and nag at you, and it's going to distract you from the court, which is why I was so against having my girl come with me, because I don't have time for a distraction. I don't have time to be arguing with you. If we have to argue, quote unquote, over the phone, I'm just hang up the phone so I can handle my business, and then we'll discuss it when I want to discuss it. But if they're there, you can't avoid it. So for me, it's, if he had basically what I'm trying to say is, if the only way he can survive is that he needs his girl to comfort him, then in my opinion, you're not in a position to hand yourself overseas, because you can't rely on a woman to be able to comfort you. Just not gonna happen. And there is a time she can pick you up. Yeah, of course. There are times we're gonna fall down, but from how he's speaking, it sounds like that he needs his girl because times are hard and I need you to support me. It's like, no offense, you signed up for this when you signed up for this, for becoming an overseas basketball player. You are a basketball contractor. You're traveling overseas to these teams that need you. Go over there, do your job, come back. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Now, I still feel for him. I know what it's like being overseas for 9 months, like when I was in Taiwan. I know what it's like. I'm more of an introvert, so it didn't bother me too much. I stayed overseas. I played my games. I was on my computer quite a bit. I would come home, eat, play games, go to sleep, practice. That was my mom. Now, I'm not saying that's for him, but I'm just saying this as a means that you do not want to end up having to rely on a woman, because ultimately, to me, it's a short-term mindset. The way I thought was, over the long run, if you can handle your business and I can trust you over this handle your business back home, then I know over a marriage, you're going to be able to take the trials and tribulations. To me, this is a trial. And you handle yourself for 7 months while I'm handling my business overseas. You can't do that, then there's no way I'm marrying you. And that's essentially the trap I feel like a lot of players like this fall into. They'll bring them over, everything gets short. When times get hard, they both want to find ways to comfort themselves, not realizing that a marriage, that's all marriage is finding a way to contend with the world's problems together. But in this situation, it's like you're in my opinion, you're in a girlfriend stage. You're in a we're just hanging out stage type deal. So we need to, because I'm going to be handling my business regardless. So if you can't handle it right now, then how do I expect you to handle it later? Which is why I'm pretty sure in other stuff, he said relationships don't work. Well, yeah, they don't work because they've never been tested. In a moment they are tested, everything falls apart. And that's essentially what I'm trying to say is, as a man, it's on him to be the leader in that situation, to curate the environment that, look, this is what I expect from you. And this is why I told my girls too. It's like, these are my 3 rules. The moment you break one of these rules, because I'm handling my business, there's nothing, you're not stopping me from handling what I need to do. But if you can't handle yours for the 7 months I'm away, for the 3-4 years I'm away from, so we can spend the next 30-40 years together, then you're not as long-term thinking as I thought. So you can just move on. But once again, that is my opinion. So I'm gonna let him finish up.
And especially if they don't got a remote or fucking flexible ass job. Like, how the fuck do y'all expect to make that work? Let's keep it a buck. Like, you know, especially if you attractive, man. Like, motherfuckers be over here working hard like a motherfucker, trying to provide for the crib, trying to make sure you good. And you feel me? Like, if motherfuckers don't want to take that step, like you can't come and visit somebody for a month out of 10 months. Like, you know, you gotta motherfucking make that effort to really make this relationship work. Cause you gotta understand, this is our career. If we can do something else, we'd do it. Bro, motherfuckers be overseas going through so much shit, man. It be times where your coach talking shit to you. It be times where, like, you know, you just going through a struggle. You know, you had 4 bad games in a row. You got times where you just, like, really going through it mentally, bro. And, like, you know what we do majority of the time? We go to our fucking room and we have nobody to turn to. And then, like, you know, like, these women back home, like, they expect for you to just continue to be solid for fucking 7-10 months without nothing. Like, let's be realistic. What the fuck are we doing? Like, for those women that's out there, y'all dating a motherfucking professional basketball player that play overseas. Now, I'm not talking about the lower leagues. I understand, like, the lower leagues, they probably can't afford it. They probably can't, you know, really get y'all over there or whatever. But if a motherfucker playing in China, the CBA, if motherfuckers playing EuroLeague, if motherfuckers playing in Turkey, if motherfuckers playing in, like, Russia, the VTB, or Spain, like that, like, yo, like, they can afford it. And, like, to be quite honest with you, like, you should want to, like, branch out and want to, like, experience the world and all that type of shit. That's why I tell motherfuckers all the time, like, you know, hey, if you're not ready for the lifestyle of an overseas basketball player, don't date them. Don't sign up for that shit.
Well, they're going to sign up for it just because in their mind, they see in their mind, they're looking at a lifestyle that they want to have, but don't understand the consequence that comes with it. This is the biggest thing I will always say to my ex. It's that you want all the good stuff. You want the goal at the end of the rainbow, but you don't want to go through the journey for it. And this is where, it comes to the men's content that will come in, is where they say women only pick the winners. You are essentially, if you're a professional basketball player, you're already a winner. So they're going to choose you, despite the fact that they don't understand what it took to get to that point. and they're not willing. And most women, there are some, very rarely are there some, because they can see the long-term picture. And this is what it always comes back to. Are they short-term thinking or long-term thinking? Most of these women that he's referring to, in my opinion, is short-term thinking. They don't want to change. They don't want to adapt. And to me is when life gets hard, if we're married and life gets hard, I have to rely on you to take care of things that I can't focus on taking care of because I'm focusing personally on the big picture. So if I'm missing small details, which is what women are normally good at, they're normally good at looking at the small details. Personally, I had one of my exes. They did that too. She was afraid of some health problems. She looked at my back and had all these spots. I didn't even notice it. She said, "We're going to the doctor," and I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Let's go. We're going because I'm worried." Like that's what we need for when it comes to women. But that she was also a long-term player. In this long-term thinking. In this situation, it's yes. It's like, to me, you have to. That's your expectation. That's what it means to be an overseas basketball player. If your girl is becoming a distraction, it's on you to say, cut it out. Because I'm handling my business. Once again, this is why I have my rules. I'm handling my business. You need to handle yours. And if you can't do that, then we're gone. We're done. And that's essentially how I would kick him to the curb. All right, you're done. Bye. And they'll watch from the outside, and that's fine. But you, as a man, you must be on a mission. Like, yes, China, EuroLeague. I mean, when I was in Belgium, I was able to fly my mom out. I get it. Yes, there are times where they can afford it, but it's on you to understand if it's a distraction or not. And if you're not, as a man, as long as you're playing basketball, if you aren't to handle your stuff overseas, rather than saying, well, my girls needs to come so everything can be good, then that could be a problem. Because I'm telling you right now, everyone always thinks it's good until y'all get into that argument. And now you have nowhere else to go. And you can't escape it. And now it affects your play, which is the worst part. At least you can disconnect. I'm not saying long-term relationships aren't always good, because I wouldn't always recommend it, but you're looking for a long-term reach. If she's able to handle herself for those 9 months, or as I know that is, you know that's wifey material. And to me, I think that's what people should be focusing on. You should be focused on your mission. He should be focused on her mission, whatever that mission is in your life. And then when times come together, it can align to where, okay, now that mission can allow me to travel. Now we can work together. She needs to, it is the most dangerous Superman kryptonite when a woman is overseas, don't know language, only can stay in the house watching TV or being on social media. It's the worst toxic, it's the most toxic environment for a professional athlete. I promise you it's the worst. You do not want that. You do not want to be living like that. Because the moment she wants to start an argument, you can't escape. It's going to directly affect your play almost every time.
Simple. Go get a regular 9-to-5 guy where you can just, see every day and, it's easy for you. If you're not ready to take that step and sacrifice, so y'all can both be together and y'all can both make this shit work, because you gotta understand, that's his only occupation. He can't do nothing else. That's his profession. So,
well, he can. And that's where my Beyond the Court comes in. Yes, you can. You can build a brand out with your basketball. And this is where you need to think outside the box. Because that's the only thing you can do. Is that the primary thing you're doing? Yes. That's not the only thing you can do. And this is where basketball players in general need to change the way they think.
You probably can do something else, but he can't. I'm going to keep it straightforward with you. If you think that you sending your guy overseas and his ass over there for motherfucking 10 months by himself and you just come over and visit 1 month, that shit is not gonna motherfucking work. And to be honest, I experienced the shit before. It just didn't work. Hey, motherfuckers want to, not take that next step. I was overseas. I gave motherfuckers 3 years to try to take that next step to, come overseas and fuck with me and, come overseas and let's start our life. They didn't want to take that next step, so I had to move around. Just keeping it a buck. You gotta get somebody, for all the overseas hoopers out there, you gotta get somebody that fits your lifestyle. Somebody that's, flexible. Somebody that's, you know, free to do shit. If motherfuckers still, you know, out here, you know, still trying to like, you know, and it's okay, still trying to chase their own career, it's fine, but it just really won't work, and it really won't align with your lifestyle, with what you're trying to do. To be honest, it won't.
That's true. And we'll end it here. But yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right. It won't. But that's where, as a man, is a way. There are ways you can do this. You can find ways to accommodate her goals. Now, it's still about you. Don't get me wrong, because you ultimately have to build the castle, build the land around it. But there are ways you can accommodate her and what her goals are within your entire game plan. And that's essentially what you have to do. But to do that, I need to make sure I can trust you. And that's where it comes in with me. I have to be able to trust you. I got to be able to trust that you're going to handle your business. I got to trust that I can allow you to handle this part of my business so things don't go down, you know, things don't go bad. But unfortunately, that's what ends up happening. So, but no, he's right. I'm glad after 3 years, he said, hey, we can't do this no more. You don't want to change your lifestyle? Cool. I'm not about to deal with that. If we're not taking steps forward into a mature relationship, then yeah, you need to go. And I'm glad this guy stopped and said, hey, after 3 years, you don't want to come overseas. You don't want to change the way you're living. You want to go on your own plan. Then cool, I'm gone. That's actually why I broke up with my last girlfriend. She had her own plan. And here's the thing, I still care about her, but she had her own plan and I had mine. And I wasn't willing to sacrifice parts of my plan that she wanted. She wanted to do the things she wanted to do, and I had a timeline. And I'm like, if we can't do this now, then all right, you go ahead and do your thing, and I'm just gonna go do mine. And that's essentially, and like I said, nothing bad about it, but that's the reality of it. And there are gonna be times where that's gonna happen. So I'm glad at least he was able to recognize it. But I do want to encourage my audience to understand that, look, there is more to this. You just have to understand how to make it work within your life. But that comes into understanding what you want out of your own life, especially as us as basketball players. What you want. What do you want out of your life? And if you're not sure, then it's on you to learn and adapt and figure out exactly what you want out of your life, so you have what I call a North Star to focus on. And then you just keep aligning yourself, because you're going to go off-road a few times. As long as you're heading to that North Star point, you need to find a woman who's willing to do that too. And if they can, then you'll be willing to deal with the problems that are inevitably going to come when you're trying to head to this long-term goal of yours. So let's try this next one. All right.
You don't love Island, who was like, I don't care about none of this. I could be hooping overseas. He got a point. I seen this video on TikTok of a lady yapping about, oh my God, overseas basketball, that's only like 30K. It's not a big flex like you think it is. Ma'am, do you realize that there are actual NBA players that hoop overseas? Guys that are legit. If one of those overseas players were to come and like hoop at a regular gym, they show its levels to this shit. Anytime I would go to an open run and we heard, oh yeah, he hooped overseas, I know he's about to drop at least 30 on us. Didn't one of the Ball brothers hoop overseas and then come to the NBA? Hooping overseas is a major flex. It steps to like professional basketball. Yeah, you might not have gotten drafted straight out of college, or you had to take the longer route, but it's a process, and you're among some of the elite hoopers out there. And then you're not even thinking about the currency exchange where he's hooping at. Whatever he's making there is considered way more than what it would be here in the States.
Well, here's the thing. One, don't even acknowledge people who think overseas basketball isn't tough. Like, there are guys I know, like there was a guy I know. When he was in France, he was making 90K a month. 90K a month. Like, there are definitely levels, and that's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, that's definitely pretty good, because I play against them, so I know this. But there are guys, like there are EuroLeague guys who are signing 2-3 year, 4.8, $6.2 million contracts. Don't get it twisted. That stuff still exists over there. And here's the thing, in the NBA, all the best players are European now. So no, the game is significantly better actually overseas. They don't allow a lot of BS you see in the NBA to deal with overseas, because it's ran by FIBA. So there's a lot of rules. So the defensive 3 seconds, which is an example, in the NBA, you're not allowed to be in the paint for more than 3 seconds. And overseas, you're allowed. So all that dunking you see LeBron James and all these other guys do, you can't do that over there because there are bigs sitting in the paint. There is no open lane no more. So that's why when people say, oh, well, it's a lot harder to play overseas, that's why, because the rules are inherently different. They value defense. You don't see games going 70. You'll be lucky to have a game get to 75, 80 points because the defense is that hard. So yeah, overseas basketball is very different. It's tougher in some ways and it's easier in others. But if you want a testament to it, just look at Victor and Luka. They explicitly said that scoring is so much easier in NBA because the NBA, and this is where the politics of the NBA comes in, value scoring more than defense because Adam Silver believes that if you score a lot more, it's more entertaining, which is why viewership's going down because he's so blind, he doesn't see that, that waters down basketball. But overseas basketball still kept it. So no, it's very much a flex if you can be overseas and produce and still do well. But anyone who says that, why do you, in my opinion, why do you even pay attention to them? Just let them talk. Because most likely they've never accomplished anything in their life that's at even a remote level of getting to overseas basketball. Because to get to overseas basketball, you have to play college. You have to do pretty well. You have to do pretty good in college, and you need to be probably one of the best players in your high school team to even get to scholarship if you got a scholarship in college. That dedication, most people have never done anything of type of sacrifices like we've had to do as professional basketball players. So anytime someone talks, and this is another thing I'm gonna say when it comes to why athletes get paid the way they do. When I was in Lebanon was in the middle of their with the Syrian genocide, which was really bad. But a lot of refugees came into Lebanon, Beirut, Lebanon. And Beirut normally holds at the time like 500,000, 600,000 people. At the time when I was going over to play, there was 1.8 million people. It was so packed that you saw, like, it's a beautiful country, man. Lebanon's a beautiful country. There was smog on the top. There was so much activity going on. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because they are in the middle of a war time. Because I was over there when a hotel got attacked. I was actually still over there. They are so infatuated with basketball. Basketball is the #1 sport over there. So I actually still have some videos on my personal channel of this story. When you're in a war-torn country, sports is the one thing you can use to escape. This is where people don't understand about the NFL in America. This is why these men live their teams, because they can vicariously live out their dreams through their athletes. There's a lot of pressure, which is why when you lose, they feel like, well, you suck. Because in their mind, they're living out their dreams through you. In their mind, it's, yeah, you suck because you didn't do what I want you to do. That's why we get paid the way we do. Because we're holding on to all the pressure of the people who live terrible lives. Not terrible, miserable lives in their mind. In Lebanon, they're in war-torn country. They are in poverty. I mean, I'm coming back from the airport. There are bricks, people hanging up brick, stone, concrete buildings are falling apart because of war, and they're hanging up their clothes on dryer lines. And I remember just watching, I'm seeing just nonstop. And I remember the guy that was taking me there was telling me that these are all the refugees and we can't handle it. And unfortunately, 5 times a day, they shut off the power to the entire city. They said it was getting so bad, they had to shut off the power. And yeah, like my power would get shut off 5 times a day. It was really convenient. But like, that's the reality of it. But I'm bringing all this up because when a guy, it works a 9 to 5, a man, he has to do a double shift and he comes home and he drinks a beer for 2 hours, he can escape and come together as with camaraderie when it comes to their teams. Steelers, when it comes to Pittsburgh, that's where I'm from. They all come together, and this is where they're all buddies. They all like the same team. Like, they live out their dreams through you as an athlete. It's so much bigger. This is why the pressure is so immense. because that's why we get paid the way they do. Is because you are driving all that money. They're spending all this money on you because it's their one escape from their lives. So for anyone who wants to understand why their man can't get away from the sports screen, that's why. Because outside of that, what do they do in their lives? They're going to work. They're sacrificing. They're like they're a beast of burden, essentially. And for them, that 2 hours is a reprieve from it. And that translates to money. And the last part is the fact that in Lebanon, it's an escape from war. It's an escape from the terrible conditions that the people in Lebanon now are still dealing with, which is where the riots would happen. We had riots. And like I said, I have this entire story in my personal channel. But there was riots at the games. We were stuck for 3 hours because the riots were so bad because of what happened in our game. That's why it's so, like, people don't understand, like, where the value is. It's so much bigger than most people give it credit for. It's their escape from war. That's what sports has always allowed, even back in Roman times. The whole point of gladiator fights was a distraction. And that's what best sports are, especially for most men or people who work hard. It's a distraction away from their mundane lives. So yes, it's immense. That's essentially why it's like those people will never, ever experience the type of pressure I've had to experience overseas. Not even close, like not even remotely close. So I just completely discount anything you guys say because I know you've never accomplished, in at least 95% of cases, you've never accomplished anything that is a remote of what we've accomplished. Let alone me. And I did this before I turned 30. I still got more to do. So for athletes, you have to have a thick skin because that is a reality. They're living vicariously through you. So when you see some of the things they say, you have to keep that in your mind that, look, what is their life like outside of this? It's probably not as good as you think it is. So they put all that energy, all that fervor into their sport, into the people they care about, into like their athletes. That's what it is. All right, we got one more. The shorter one.
Why didn't you go pro? Bro, I don't love basketball enough to go overseas, bro. I ain't gonna lie with you, bro. And I'm not going G. Like, you gotta understand. So I'm in my senior year of college. You ask me why I didn't go pro. I'm in my senior year of college right now, right? And it takes an obscene amount of pressure and work, what you gotta do. I truly do not love basketball that much for the headache. Like, I've literally, mentally, I'm so done. Like, mentally, past 2 years, bro, gang, mentally with this basketball shit, my head's been spinning. I'm finally happy as hell.
Good. Yes. That's the last one I wanted to bring up. He understood the pressure. That's the reality of basketball. It's something you must accept. And this is why it's the barrier of entry so hard, because most people have to go through all that only making $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month or less. It's a grind, but it's also a privilege. The fact that your basketball skills are good enough where someone sees value in it and willing to invest as little as it may be. It's on you to assume that pressure, assume that responsibility if you want to play overseas. Like that's the trade. And this TikToker clearly explained, hey, I can't do it. And I have ultra respect for that because he understood what he wanted. Because most people are going through life not understanding their own goals. He understood his goal. I don't want to do this anymore. The same thing with me. I retired after 10 years. I'm like, and I still overseas? Yeah, I was still getting offers, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it for me to keep sacrificing and keep working and playing basketball when I have this I want to build. I have things I really want to do. Knowing that the economy is going to change, And then I'm going to play to what? I'm 35, and then I come back home and I still have to do this. So I say, you know what? I played 10 years, which is a pretty long career for most. Hey, I'm done. I'm just going to back off, move on. And now I'm trying to enter boxing. So it's like, now I can do other things I want to do. So that's really the video. Like I said, I'm gonna do this every once in a while. I'm gonna toss some basketball ones, at least 2 videos a month or so, because I want to be able to help some of these guys, especially all you. If anyone watches this video, all the basketball players who are going overseas, listen, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be hard, but it can be rewarding, and definitely take into account how culture. Take a good view of what it's like to live over there. Don't be afraid to try new things. Like the second guy, we talk about how he's American, he likes Miss American food. I get that, but how about Lebanese food? It's different. You need to a lot of basketball players miss out on the culture enrichment they can get because they're so fixated on America's best. Adapt and learn some new things. You might even find a wife over there for the men. But learn what are the positives that they have over there. There are some positive in America, of course, but we discount the positives of what they can teach us as Americans. There's some things they do that are better than what we do. Man, I'm not going to go into that talk because I can go into that one, but just understand that you don't want to miss out on opportunity when you're overseas of the culture enrichment you can learn. But when you come back to America, you have a better appreciation of the country you live in. Because most people that are talking like this have never left America. Some people have never even left their states, let alone their cities. And they're backwards minded, which is why we're so bad politically right now. Because no one understands the real risk out in the world. They don't get it. They've been sheltered. And even when they do travel, they're in resorts. They're in the catered tourism areas. Get outside those areas and see what it's really like. That's what I had to live. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I wasn't living in a compound. I lived in the city. I lived right in the middle of the city. To learn to adapt. Learn that some people don't speak English. Learn how to ask for what I need. And now, I mean, I didn't have technology like we have now. Like, if I had the technology that we have now, I would have been doing social media. But back then, social media just wasn't as mature as it is now. But with Google Translate, find an adventure. You work out for what, 4 or 5 hours a day at most? Adventure out. Look up what's new. Adapt, learn. Like, some of the friends I've made, some of the connections I've made are invaluable. And I just think a lot of basketball players miss out on that. That's all. So that's it for the video. We will go talk again soon. That's all there is to it.